Good afternoon. You're listening to WVBN, the world's choice for weekly news. The Finnish vessel Aura II, carrying diplomatic envoys, reappeared near Spain this week after vanishing in the Baltic some time ago. The crew requested asylum from both Spain and Germany. The Italian Navy began coordinated efforts with the Greek Navy this week to better patrol their shared waters. Neighboring Turkey, who were also dealing with the ongoing Morgana attacks, found themselves ever more isolated from both the Italians and the Soviets, neither of whom had made many diplomatic inroads to the crossroads nation. Italy also began a system of escorting British coal shipments to Italy, once they entered the Mediterranean Sea and back again, pleasing the British and disappointing the Germans. A small task force was assembled to relieve Italian holdings in Eritrea. France began their work with the Morgana Mischief to finish the battleship Richelieu's construction, in response to the loss of a destroyer squadron to unknown forces, and the general failure of France to take the fight to the Morganas. The French government decided to sortie a task force to attack Paranoia, who had been sighted multiple times in the past few weeks. Japan accepted a proposal to send all bells, trained priests, and miko to properly attend to the needs of the kami and the spiritual needs of the crew. After their critical role in liberating Sakhalin from Morgana influence, some elements in the government pushed to annex the remainder of the island from the Soviets, but this was overruled by stronger voices. More important to the Navy was re-establishing communication with the outlying Japanese islands, who had not been heard from since the beginning of the Morgana War. A task force was assembled to survey the islands, and departed soon after. The United States had several government hearings and orders this week, as several congressmen brought forward the issue of communism in the wake of the loss of Constitution, and sought to undermine its influence in the nation. Other representatives criticized the government for favoring international relations with nations such as Japan over the security of the American people. At the White House, orders for new aircraft and warship components were approved, which would be built by several companies throughout the nation to better bolster American defense. The Soviet Union announced that the 3 cruises purchased from Germany would be named after places within the Union: Saratov, Baikal, and Vladivostok. All 3 cruisers will be sent to the Far East to support naval operations in the area. The Soviets agreed to assist Bulgaria, who had requested support against Morgana attacks. A number of destroyers and light cruisers would be sent to patrol along the coast. Though Turkey also asked for support, the Soviets were unable to assist. The Soviets also discovered that the Morgana disease lasting effects on the neighboring nations of Bulgaria and Romania, and Soviet researchers worked desperately to contain a new outbreak, which had already incapacitated Boyki. Britain decided to continue its research with Pembroke 7, even as Allied military operations were conducted nearby. An emergency meeting was held concerning Norway, and it was decided that the Suez Canal needed immediate reinforcements to secure the critical trade route. Reports suggested the possibility of a disease outbreak being quarantined in the home islands. The Kriegsmarine backed their leader Admiral Raeder, who had been under scrutiny by Berlin in recent weeks. In exchange, they agreed to wait until operations in Sweden had concluded, and by acquiescing to the Führer's demand that the admiral be replaced by the year's end. The Germans agreed to assist Sweden with their Morgana attacks, and sent a flotilla to help. They also made diplomatic gestures to gather support in Stockholm. Most nations seem to agree that for now, the only threat to the Germans posed was through U-boat interdiction of shipping. That's all for this week. Join us again at WVBN as we bring you the latest news from around the world. From all of us here at the studio, stay safe out there.